Hello, everybody. This is Titans for Life, aka James, aka Big Sportsman. Sometimes you'll see me rolling around on the message boards doing that. And I want to welcome to Titans for Life. I want to thank Rossi Titan Upload Network, of which I'm now a full member of. Welcome to Titan Upload Network, everybody. I wanted to get into some things today. We're going to talk about some things, but first, I wanted to say thank you for all those who've donated to my GoFundMe page and the things like that because really what's going on with in my life is our house burned down. um my son lost his computer that he'd spent years and years saving for. It was several $1,000 computer so that he could make videos and do things like that with us. And I was helping him, showing him how to edit and video. And that, while I was learning, he was learning. And so anyway, that's where we are right now. I'm on a borrowed computer. It does what I. So anyway, if you could please go down to my GoFundMe page. It should be in the link in the description. If everything went well on the computer, it'll be down there. If not, I'll post it a little later. But anyway, what we're talking about right now, we're going to talk about why the Titans' success has been prolonged this time, and why it's continuing, and why it's going to continue in the future. And so, anyway, with that being said, it's time to keep it real. As y'all know, I'm a big fan of the Titans. As many of you all, we love the Titans. We go out and we do stuff with the Titans. We go out there and root for the Titans. We spend money on memorabilia and all, and it's all because really a lot of people have started joining the Titans because they are getting better and better every year. Each year, you see progressive improvements. And part of that is because the coaching staff is really good. Part of that is because the general manager is going out there, getting the players and getting the things that he needs. But I think what goes unsaid a lot or unseen a lot is the fact of ownership. Ownership is a huge key um, in the success the Titans have had over the few years, making the right moves when it comes to a personnel on the coaching staff, making the right moves when it comes to personnel on the field, going out and finding the best players and doing that kind of stuff. Well, one of the things that I think the Titans really have improved on is their ownership. Since Amy Adams Strunk has come in as the controlling owner, she has done a lot of really, really good things for the Titans. Continuity, knowing who's the boss without having to be out front, like a Jerry Jones, who's always out front and all talking and always doing these things. Amy is kind of walk softly but carry a big stick kind of owner. She gives you the tools in the freedom to operate. Okay, you're meeting my expectations for wins and losses. You're meeting my expectations for progression. You're meeting my expectations for coaching, and therefore, you're good. But if you don't meet those expectations, then you're gone. Just look at Rustin Webster, Mike Malarkey. Those guys, they weren't meeting her expectations, so she got rid of them, and now we have John Robinson and Mike Vrabel, and they are meeting her expectations. It's not only that it appears that the upper management and ownership are on the same page. Um, they're on the same sentence within that page, if you know what I mean. They're always just kind of they're doing things. They're always together. If there is a problem with a player or whatever, it's not something that's addressed. It's not something that's addressed in the media, which I know a lot of media people really don't like. They don't like the idea that that they're not seeing how the sausage is made, so they can write a bunch of articles about it and things like that. They're real quiet about that, and that is one of the things that I think is a big advantage. And if you look at some of the things that you're hearing out of the Pro Bowl, how John Robinson and Mike Vrabel are being praised by a lot of the guys at the Pro Bowl, it tells you that the culture here in Tennessee, the culture in Nashville, and at the Titans facility, and overall, it shows you how it has changed over the years. It's no longer people don't want to come play here, and we have to overpay for players and to get them to come here. They want to be here. They need to be here. They understand that this is an organization that is really changed and has really got changed for the better. You don't see Amy out there in the media talking like a Jerry Jones. You don't see them making poor decisions and poor things like that. Players that end up doing some bad things or whatever, but you don't see it like you would normally, and it's all because ownership it has takes an active role, but it is more hands off. Okay, they take an active role in what do you need. They ask what do you need, and then go back, and then they supply that the resources to do. She took over as controlling owner, and she has since then been a constant. And my understanding with talking with people within the league who are privy to owners meetings and things like that, essentially are saying that she has really elevated the Titans organization and has become a force, and that she is very savvy. She's really smart. She understands football. She understands organizations and how to run them and what to do with them. And it's something that you don't see very often from billionaires who've owned these companies, who may have been in real estate or may have been in something else, retail or whatever, and out. So. We are trying to get to a point where I think that she is trying to get to a point where the stability level is much better than it was. And I think she's telling, I've heard that some players have tried to bypass coaches and bypass, uh, um, and talk to Amy and say, hey, this ain't right. This is that. And she's just kind of like, no, 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 no. There's a chain of command. Follow the chain of command. We'll take it up there. So my understanding, and that's just very rare in leadership roles, especially in owners who are billionaires who are used to being hands-on with everything that they do. I mean, look at Jerry Jones, look at Jacksonville, look at where these guys are very hands-on, and their teams end up not being very good because they don't give time to develop. They don't know how to analyze whether or not something is coming along and it's just going to take some time because your roster is poor. If it's just seriously something wrong with the coaching, um, Mike Vrabel has shown that he is a great coach. I believe I was on last night with Titans Rossi and No Flags Films, and No Flags says, "Well, I wouldn't put I wouldn't I wouldn't put J. Rob, John Robinson in the top 10. I wouldn't put him in the top 5, but I put him in the top 10. Well, I put him in the top 5, really. I put him probably at 4 or 5, and that's just because of how well he managed this year. I put Mike Vrabel as, well, everybody else says he's the coach of the year. He's the best coach that they had this year in the NFL, and I think that that is because really and truly how they both kind of managed all the injuries we had this year. 91 players dress. That is unprecedented. That is unheard of in the NFL. And then turn around and win the AFC. They win the regular season in the AFC, the number 1 seed. That to me tells me that they're on the same page. They talk to one another. They don't talk one doesn't talk down to the other. They understand each other. They go out and get players that can complement the coaching that we have and be made. And then but when it comes to acquiring those players, ownership has to be involved, and ownership is involved, and Amy gives them the resources they need to be successful, and doesn't stick her head into things that that they don't need help with, and that is a huge advantage for being able to do your work when you're trying to do something. Think about it being at your job. Everybody needs to think about this being at their job. When you're at your job and your boss is, you know, right here on your shoulder, looking over your shoulder, trying to, second guessing everything you do, you wouldn't like that. And it makes a very hostile work environment. It makes a very stressful work environment. You don't want to be that. You just don't want to be there. Um, and then think of some of the best bosses you had who gave you a task. You did the task was done on time, and you turned it in, and everybody was happy about it. This is exactly the same thing that's going on in the Titans. Uh, they're getting the resources that they need. They don't have someone standing right over their shoulder, second guessing every move they make, every person they acquire, every person they cut, every person they give a contract to, futures contracts, how they do things on special teams. They rotated through a lot of kickers and things over the last couple of years, and they finally found a guy that they think they can trust. Uh, most owners wouldn't have allowed that. Most owners would have been like, let's get this guy in. But the Titans were patient with the coaching staff. They were patient with J. Rob and said, "Okay, I know you're going to fix it. You're going to figure it out. Let's go ahead and get it done." Um, so I think there are a lot of things that a lot of other owners can learn from Amy. I'm talking to you, Jacksonville. I'm talking to you, Dallas Cowboys. Um, Watch her model and see how she does things, because power doesn't come from to everybody knowing you have power. Real power and real leadership comes from people wanting you to have it. You understand the difference. There's a difference between the 2. People want you to have it, therefore they are, because they trust you, and they trust that you're gonna give them and put them in the right situation. And that is what's been going on here. Amy has done a terrific job. I really think if there was an award for owner of the year, she would get it. She would have to get it because she has been outstanding. Quiet in the background, doing her work in the background to allow everyone else to do their work in the forefront, and then going out there, and inspecting to see what she, doing a checkup every day to try to figure out, is this working? Is this not working? Going to the coaches instead of going out to the media and saying, I don't think this is working. She'd go into the coaches. I don't think this is working. Maybe we need to try something else. Let's brainstorm, let's talk. It's more of a cooperative type of relationship, as opposed to I'm the owner, I'm the boss. A more confrontational type of relationship, and it's working out for the Titans. Look, they're getting better and better every year. If you would have told anybody at the beginning of this year, we're going to lose Derrick Henry, we're going to lose AJ Brown, we're going to lose Julio Jones, we're going to lose are the most all almost all the production on the offense that we have, and then we're gonna bring in guys who, didn't make other teams. We're sitting at home, and then we're gonna win the AFC. We're gonna win the number 1 seed in the AFC. I guarantee you 99% of you would have said, "This guy's an idiot. There's no way that can happen. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He knows nothing about football. It doesn't work that way." Um, if you told anybody that they would have thought you were crazy, but yet we did it because we had everybody was on the same page, from ownership to GM to coaches. They were all on the same page in how to handle the situation, and they handled it, and they had plans. In fact, the way things went this season, I'd say their plans had plans. To just be honest with you, I mean, it's like that movie Armageddon. He says, well, your contingencies have contingencies. So I think that is what's going on, and that's what's happened, and that's what happened this year, and it paid off in a big way. And we didn't make it to where we wanted to. We wanted to be in the Super Bowl. We didn't make it to where we wanted to be, and that's just there were some things that went on, and I think the Titans have made some corrections to that by recent hires. Um, Putting people with a little bit more experience behind people who have a little less experience, to kind of help them along, and help them understand situational football, and that what needed to be done. And that's what we did on defense last year. The defense was horrible the year before. We come out this year. We have someone that's a little bit more experienced, a little bit more able to do a few more things. We hired an extra person to do that, and they were able to make all of these corrections on defense, and the defense turns out to be really, really good. If I'd have told you at the beginning of the year that we were going to be defensively where we were today, you would have said, "Hey, yeah, we're in the Super Bowl." So I think what's derailed the Titans has been a little bit of bad luck, and a little bit of and a few misses in the draft. But once again, as I've said many, many times, in the draft, you're going to make misses. You're going to have misses, and those misses are going to happen. But anyway, Amy Adams Strunk is probably in my opinion, one of the best owners in the NFL because she is uh, active but hands off, and I think she deserves a lot of credit for the success the Titans have had over the years. So this is where if you want to post some comments down below, ask some questions about some of the things that she's done behind the scenes. One of them was a big Jeff Simmons. There was a lot of questions about him coming out of college. She sat down with him, talked with him, understood, read through the reports, understood what really happened, how it happened, and she took a lot of flack for that. But she said, "Look, this is a high character guy. This is just one of those things that happen." And she literally just overruled all of the naysayers and told them to go ahead and pick Jeff Simmons. He is a big part of our defense now. He has shown that he's a high character guy, no trouble whatsoever. Really nice guy. Met him a couple of times, shook his hand. I mean, he's really nice until you get him on that field, and then he's not quite as nice on the field. But anyway, tighten up that like button down below. Remember, we're all part of the Titans Upload Network. Titans Rossi, Titan Upload, and myself. We have some things coming hopefully this summer that will keep you engaged and keep you coming back. So tighten up that like button. And once again,